So, you want to check that thickness so that you're not wasting your time, because what you'll do is you'll go down too far, you'll cut off the wheel, there'll be a big hole in your pot, and you won't be able to do anything with it. So stop, check it if you want, or once you get better, you'll know when to stop, all right? Stand up real quick. I want you to look inside what I'm doing with the opening. I'm going to take my fingers. So let me just say something real quick. You guys are going to be centering for the next 3 or 4 days. Some people are going to really pick it up. Some people might struggle a little bit. Okay. But we might have to revisit this opening and pulling thing a little bit later. I do a short demo on how to finish up the bowl with a rib and taking it off and stuff like that. But in opening, I want my bottom to be flat. So I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'm going to curl them in like this. And I'm going to slowly start pulling the clay out like that. Now look, I'm going to take my hands off slowly. It falls right into place. If I would have taken my hands off quickly, it would wobble. So I went down at an angle, I checked my base, I curled my fingers in, and I made a flat base right there. So I'm going to take my sponge and smooth the bottom out. Now it's going to be about pulling, okay? Hand position, what is that?
Coney.
What is that? Okay, now my left hand stayed in the same spot every time. Now it's different, okay? I'm going to take, everybody hold their fingers like this, okay? Touch your fingertips together. This is what we're pulling with. People are going to be pulling these weird ways. They're going to hold their hand like this, and they're just going to go like this. If I'm touching the whole pot with this whole hand, what's the problem with that?
It's not going to be even?
It could be even.
It's going to look ragged.
It could dry. It's more friction. The more I touch it, the more dry it gets, the more friction. So what we want to do is pull it between our fingertips like this. So everybody do that. Go home and practice this tonight. You might not be pulling tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my fingers. I'm in a U like that. My fingers are touching again. I'm going to put them, my left hand is now on the inside. My right hand is on the outside. What part of the clock is this?
4.
4 o'clock. How did you guys know that? It's in the notes. Saw it on the board. We're pulling here. Why do you think that people always want to pull over here?
More comfortable.
I don't know. I don't know if it is more
It's
comfortable.
because your left hand
Because your left hand what?
it's always been over
Was
there.
always over here. So then people just start doing these weird things. The left hand stays here and they squeeze it up a little bit like that. I have people that they'll just squeeze it between their fingers like this. If you do this just like a pinch pot and you just squeeze it, how tall will your pot ever get?
Like that.
Right here, this tall, okay? So we're pinching between our fingertips, and we're gonna be pinching where our fingers are mirrored together, okay? So watch what I do here. There's my water. I'm gonna hold my hand. I'm mostly pulling with the fingertips of my middle finger, and maybe, what would this be, the ring finger?
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
it's on that thing.
I'm mostly pulling with those things, okay? Watch what I do. I'm gonna go down to the bottom. What I do with my middle finger right there. I pushed in, I have a ledge above my finger. You have to have a ledge to be able to pull it up. If you don't have a ledge, you're not using any pressure. I go to the inside. I create a little pressure with my inside middle finger. Now what do I want to do? I'm gonna pull up. I keep slowly rising. I keep coming, keep going. I get near the rim. I slowly take my hands off. I get rid of this junky stuff. I clean up my hands. Like that. I always lay my sponge over the rim. I'll remind you guys of that later on, and I'll tell you why. I get a little bit of water. What do I want to do?
Make a ledge.
Make a ledge. I go all the way to the bottom. It's my middle finger. Look at, what are my arms doing right now? They're on my thighs. I have support here. Just like coning and centering, my arms are always on my legs. I press in, I got a little ledge. Now look inside. You can see that ledge I just created with my inside middle finger. So now I start squeezing and coming up and coming up. I keep coming up until I get near the rim. I take my hands off slowly. I'll do one more.
Make it look too easy.
A lot of years of experience, but I have students that just in these 3 weeks, they're making bowls just as good as this. One last time, I go all the way to the bottom, middle finger, I press in, see my ledge there on the bottom, look at my ledge on the inside, I start squeezing and coming up. Now I don't stop until I get near the rim, and then I take my hands off. What happens, people squeeze and they stay in the middle, and it starts wobbling because the clay is getting too what?
Dry.
Too thin.
Too thin, okay? So this is kind of what we're looking for. Now, let's say that you mess up.
Oh.
Okay, cool little sculpture, huh?
Yeah, you know that.
No. So let's say I mess up and I'm done. This is what the wooden rib is for. And hopefully you guys will help each other out. I really want you to help each other out. If you see somebody doing something, you know, tell them, hey, you're not doing it that way. Oh, is that
Good
it?
one, huh?
All right, I'll tell you how to clean up tomorrow.
Is this one piece?
I think so. No, that's like 2